Hi, and welcome to our next video in our Technology Basics series. The video for today is about downloading and installing files onto your computer. And this is written to be useful for both PC users and Mac users, so everybody should have something to take back from this. First of all, a little bit about the difference between downloading and installing. Downloading transfers a file from the internet onto your computer, so it does require an internet connection until the file has completely downloaded itself onto your computer. However, that alone does not install your file. You then have to locate the file on your computer and click on it, and that opens the file up and actually saves it onto your hard drive. There are a few programs which you need to have installed on your computer in order for your K-12 courses to function properly. They are these four programs that are listed up on the board, and you do need to have the most common or the most recent version of them. I'm pasting in the chat area for people who are watching via Blackboard Collaborate, and I will put in the comments area on YouTube the links in order to actually get these programs. So a lot of people are worried about downloading things on the internet if they haven't actually done so before, because they're afraid of accidentally downloading something bad onto their computer, which does happen relatively frequently. Any type of program which is created with the intent to cause harm to your computer is called malware. And this can be divided a couple different ways. There is adware, which exists in order to put ads on your computer and trick you into clicking on things that you would not normally click on, and this is a way for them to make money. And then there's spyware, which actually looks around on your computer and tries to find your personal information, your credit card information, and take that back to somebody else. Now, most malware is not really that dangerous. The worst that it's going to do is slow down the performance of your computer, but that's really bad enough. If your computer moves slowly, you'll have a hard time navigating around the internet, pages will take a long time to load, things will take a long time to download, so you really want to have as little malware on your computer as possible. I'm going to do a separate video that goes into malware and keeping your computer clean in a little bit more detail, but I wanted to at least mention these because we're going to be downloading some files today, and if you follow these instructions, it's very unlikely that you'll end up with any malware in the process. There are a couple barriers to installing files that you may not be aware of. For example, you may be told if you try to install files that you lack administrative privileges. If you are working from a computer lab, you may not be able to actually download and install programs onto your computer. You would have to talk to the person who set that lab up in order to get these programs added. If you have an extremely intense firewall or virus protection program, this also might block you from downloading files. Most just ask you a question and say, are you sure you want to download something? But again, if you are working in a public place, they may have special firewall or virus protection installed to prevent people from downloading things that they don't want installed on their computers. So, assuming that you are working from your own personal computer, step one to save downloading is to go to the download site via a link from a trusted source. And again, these are the links that I put over in the chat area or down in the comments area. You don't want to just do a search for downloading Adobe Flash Player if you aren't really used to downloading files, because a lot of sites on the internet are very good at tricking you, and they will create a page that looks very much like an official page, but you'll actually end up downloading something that's very different. Similarly, ads that pop up on your screen or show on the sidebars of your screen, a lot of times those ads are actually fake, and you'll click on them and something else will happen to your computer other than what you intend. So it's good to go to links from a trusted source. Other options, if you see something that's written up in PC Magazine or some sort of official technology site, then you know that those are actually trustworthy places. So you go to that particular website, and then the next thing you need to do is read the system requirements. On this screenshot, the system requirements for Adobe Flash Player are right here. You would click on that, and then it would tell you exactly what you need on your computer in order for this program to work. There was an earlier video which explained how to find your system requirements on your own particular computer, so if you've forgotten, then you may want to review that particular video. This one also helps you out by saying your system, what it's got on it. It actually checks it for you. And I'm working off of a Windows 64-bit computer, so that's what it says right there. If you needed to download a different version, then you would click here, Need Flash Player for a different computer. So for example, if you have a Mac or if you have Linux or something like that, you would need to click there to download the version that matches your particular computer. Next, you need to make sure that you don't install any extra components. Now, on the Adobe site, they automatically have a little check mark in this box. Yes, please do install this McAfee Security Scan Plus. You actually don't want to install anything that you don't absolutely have to install. This isn't a virus. It doesn't hurt your computer. It can be useful. But if you get in the habit of just going click, 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 next, 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 and installing whatever's there, you're going to end up with 15 toolbars at the top of your screen and, a lot of unnecessary stuff. So think really carefully, and in most cases you'll want to uncheck that box before you move on to the next screen. When you are all ready to go, you click the Install Now or the Download button. This does acknowledge that you have read and agreed to the Adobe Software Licensing Agreement. You can read that if you wish, but it usually says the same thing in everybody's licensing agreement. But when you're ready to go, you'll click Install Now, and that will begin the installation process. You will probably get some pop-ups which ask you to actually save the file to your computer. Now, if you are saving the Windows version, you're going to get an exe file. You'll just click Save and save that to your computer. Exe files do not work on Mac computers. So if you install that on a Mac computer, it's not going to do you any good whatsoever. If you go to install the Mac version, instead of an exe file, you get a DMG file, or in some cases a package file. So that's what you want. You'd click Save File in that situation. So now you've got it all downloaded onto your computer. It's time to install the program. First, you need to access the program itself. I like doing it by opening your internet browser's downloads folder. So I downloaded it using Mozilla Firefox, so I would just click Tools up at the top of the screen and then click Downloads, and it would bring up a whole big list of everything that I've downloaded recently. Another option is to go to the Downloads folder on your computer. So on a Mac, you would click Go up at the top, and then Library or Downloads or whatever helps you get to that particular place. You can do a search if you can't find your Downloads folder, but everything should be downloading to the Downloads folder by default, and that makes it really easy to locate. Next, you're going to click on the file to install it. You can see here's the file that I just downloaded, Install Flash Player. So I would just double-click on that. Again, this is an exe file because I've got Windows, and that allows the installation process to begin. If the file hasn't finished downloading yet, though, you have to wait. The Java file that you'll be downloading as well is a big file. So it tells you how much time is left, and you have to wait for the green bar to get all the way across before you can actually click on it to install it. Now, you have to approve the installation of the file. For Windows, this is done by clicking a whole bunch of buttons. First, you'll be asked, are you sure you want to run the file? And you click Yes, Run. Are you sure you want to open the file? Yes, okay. And then it'll probably freeze everything on your screen and say, do you want the following program to make changes to your computer? And you click Yes. If you have a Mac, all you do is a little box will open with an icon, and you click on the icon and you drag it into your applications folder. This is showing the Firefox icon, but the icon would match whatever it is that you just downloaded. Some programs actually don't require you to drag it to the applications folder. They will work if you just run it without dragging it anywhere. But having it in the applications folder ensures that you'll be able to find the program more easily later on. So it's a good idea. It takes 5 seconds to just do this extra step and drag it over. And that's it. And then you'll get a little alert that says, congratulations, your installation is complete, and you can click finish, and you have completed downloading your program. So you'll need to do that for all 4 of the programs that I have listed. Here's a review for how to do this. You want to download the files from the internet and then install them onto your computer. Make sure you use trusted links to avoid malware. Make sure that you check the system requirements so you actually download things that will work on your computer. Don't install any unnecessary components to keep from clogging up your computer. You will locate the file in your downloads folder and then click on it to start the installation process, and then you'll approve the installation by either clicking a whole bunch of buttons if you're in Windows, or by dragging the file to the applications folder if you are on a Mac. And that's it. I'm going to be doing a few more of these videos. If you have any requests for topics in the future, you can type them in the chat. If you have any questions about what I've discussed today, or if you think that something was incorrect, please type that in the comments area as well, as I'll probably be doing new versions of these in the future. So that's it. Have a great day.